Hey guys, Matt Jope here. Hope you're doing all well. So I thought I'd just jump on and do a quick video about a post I did on my Facebook profile. And people seem to love it for some reason. But anyway, let's get into it. And it's on the topic of building trust when there is no trust. Now, what am I talking about? Well, trust in sales is one of the foundations to any sale. Of course, know, like, and trust. There's other stuff to it. It's not as simple as it sounds. But yes, trust is one of the cornerstones. It's a key factor. And the fact is, really, trust is built over time. Trust comes from relationships. The longer relationship, the longer the trust. But one thing I had to learn really quickly from face-to-face sales meetings was this. What do you do when you just don't have that luxury of time? Because in many cases, I would go to a meeting with a lead, prospect, whatever you want to call them. And that first meeting would be with someone I've never met before. They don't know me. They don't know anything about me. And this is because either sort of my PA, appointment setter, one of the junior sales staff in my team would sort of set the meeting up for me. So I had no trust. I had no relationship. I had no time to do that stuff with the person, the decision maker, who I was meeting with. But how did I handle this problem to close $1 million deals? And I mean $1 million deals week in, week out. I love the pharmaceutical industry, selling to wholesalers. It's a lot of money in that industry. Anyway, what I used to do is create a trust factor in a very short period of time. Literally within a couple of minutes, 5 to 10 maximum. Yes, it's 100% possible to do. It takes practice, but possible. And what I've learned from having hundreds of meetings is this. You can do two things that will build instant trust. And what you need to do is, first of all, demonstrate expertise. And the second, unsuspecting honesty. Yeah. So let's look at the first one. Demonstrating expertise comes down to, of course, a number of factors. Product knowledge, fully understanding your solutions, benefit features, the list goes on and on. But being an expert in the eyes of the potential buyer is so important. Without it, you will more than likely lose the all-important sale. The simple fact that people respect people who know more than they do, coupled with the fact that they can see that you can generally help them come to a correct decision. Maybe yes or no, but help them come to that decision, and that you really have their best interests at heart. And you can exactly solve their problems and pain points with your offer, product, solution. Now, of course, in a meeting, you cannot say, I am an expert. That is stupid. No one would ever believe it. If you said that, the barrier would come up and they would automatically think this person is not an expert. You need to build your status as an expert. And how you do this is by the questions you ask. In fact, the better the quality of the questions you ask, you will sell yourself as an expert. Trust me, it took me a long time to fully understand this and a lot of practice, but it works every time if done correctly. It's a skill for sure, but like I said at the beginning, one that can be learned. Now, let me put this on steroids. Let me introduce an element that really took me years to work out, but so powerful, and that is unsuspecting honesty. Throw this into the mix with the second element. This takes things, I promise you, to a whole new level. Let me paint you a picture. Who has the worst reputation as a salesman person in the market? For me, it has to be the used car salesman, the snake oil salesperson. Now, I'm sure there's some nice ones out there, and in fact, I'm sure there's some watching now, so please don't be offended. But trust me, I have brought some very, very bad cars in my time. My personal record is this. The car broke down driving home from the car showroom itself. True story. In fact, still parked somewhere in London. I broke down somewhere in London in a road I don't even know, in a road I will never be able to find ever again. Anyway, enough pain for me. That's why I have a problem with second-hand car dealers. So anyway, let's move to my point. Being unsuspectingly honest with a prospect is not something they will expect to hear. Imagine saying, my product has a weakness. This product has a weakness. Imagine if that guy who has sold me that crazy car has said, trust me, the car looks really cool. That's why people buy it. But it's so unreliable. I wouldn't recommend it to someone who is looking for a reliable car. That salesman could have upsold me. Or even better, he could have upsold me for something better for me and even at a higher price. It would have been a win-win for everyone, correct? I get a better product, service, experience, and yeah, the salesman actually makes more commission. So remember this. This is key. Admitting to your prospects what your product can not do is just as potent as telling your prospect what you can do. Wow, think about that. Honestly, sales psychology. Using this tactic will get a reaction of shock. They will be surprised and amazed. Now, what you're doing, in fact, is you're selling you without actually selling. You're being an expert, but not telling them you're an expert. Not to buy something is not something you expect to hear from a salesperson. It shows you're actually looking out for this person. You have the best interest at heart. It's growing know, like, and trust in a very short period of time and saying you're an expert. Now, once the prospect's shock has worn off, well, believe me, it will develop into instant trust between you and the prospect. So practice this technique, guys. Really practice it. Practice your questions and the quality of the questions you actually ask, because you're building know, like, and trust, holding yourself as an expert. Remember, expertise and unsuspecting honesty. If you want to learn more cool stuff like this, just subscribe to this YouTube channel. I drop videos every day where you can learn real sales skills. So hit the subscribe, like this video, comment if you found it useful, and I will see you all again tomorrow in the next video. Thanks, guys.